This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Hey, happy, what is today? Happy Thursday, the Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana state law says it's your vehicle. It is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Coming up today on the big show, we're going to talk Grizzly basketball, men and women, with 406mtsports.com, Missoulian.com sports reporter Lance Hartzler. Also, comedian Zac Allen will join us. He's from Laurel, played some hoops at Laurel, and went to Missoula for college. Now he's in Phoenix, killing it on the local comedy tour down there, so we'll talk to him coming up and maybe get some comedy, some laughs. You can watch the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, TreasureStateRadio.com, and go to JasonWalkerShow.com for anything, anytime, anywhere. I think we're going to try to get an app, too. Should we do that? Okay. This opening segment is brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. Now, you can bring your own plans or look through their 15-plus offerings. Under Milled Log Homes, they'll create the perfect log or timber frame home of your dreams. 50-plus years experience, the finest craftsmen available in the state will build you a home crafted to last for generations. These are true log homes, not D-log, not log-sided stick frame homes. In addition to the three divisions of milled, handcrafted, and timber frame, they also do log accents, entryways, project management, stairs, railings, and more. Get a hold of them at yourcustomlog.com to get started today. All right. You can weigh in on this show anytime. This is a listener or watcher voyeur. You can weigh in at JWalkerSports on the Twitter. You can also get a hold of us 406-209-1267 anytime you want to, while the show's on. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get started. District basketball continuing across this state. Great games, and saw some great finals coming in as well. And we'll look at some of them, but District 5B getting started down in Belgrade today, boys and girls. Townsend boys, Jefferson girls looking for big victories in districts. Let's see here. So, today so far we have seen Geraldine Highwood lose to Great Falls Central 62-42. That's the 8th seed at Great Falls. Lame Deer leads Baker 71-42 in the 4th. Fort Benton beat Turner 56-48, so I think Turner's out. These are the boys' scores. Webo over Ekalaka, 49-31. Hamilton beat Corvallis, 67-44. And let's see, Victor over Valley Christian, 62-57. And other games tonight on the boys' side. On the girls' side, those were yesterday. Right? Yeah, okay. Forsyth leading Baker, 54-48. That one's a final. That was yesterday. Okay, Bridger beat Reed Point Rapplejay 50-23. Stevensville over Frenchtown by 11. Butte Central, Badavinick put up 29, I think. 57-30 win over Corvallis. East Helena playing Hamilton in girls basketball later down in Dillon in the Southwest A. Rocky Boy loses to Shelby in girls ball by 11. Tight one, Shoto Conrad girls in the 3rd. It's 45-42 Shoto. And looking for others, St. Ignatius beat Plains 60-24. Darby over Valley Christian by 21. Let's see here. Knoxon losing to Hot Springs 56-32. St. Regis leading 2 Eagle River 22-13. Manhattan Christian pasted Sheridan. Christian girls are so good. They're just a one loss. 71-19 the final today. Wow, this is a surprise. Twin Bridges leading West Yellowstone at the half, 30-13. Sunburst beat Dutton Brady, 36-25. And that Townsend Manhattan game coming up tonight on the girls' side, along with Whitehall Three Forks. The Townsend Manhattan winner gets Jefferson girls. Have fun. Big Timber plays Jefferson right now. That game in action. No score yet from Belgrade. And then Whitehall Manhattan boys later tonight. So districts continuing all across the state. And some great games last night and yesterday. Sunburst Claire Buckland put up 35 last night. Big Sandy's Braden Klein with 30. And Kate Erickson of Broadview Levine at 26. Just running down a couple of the big scorers. And let's not forget, we got big games in the Frontier tonight. High school hoops is great, but the Frontier Conference, 1 and 2 seeds and 3 seed on the women, will be decided tonight. You've got great games across the state. Starting with Carroll at Providence, 7-19 in the rankings. And we're talking the winner could be the 1 seed if Rocky loses to Western tonight, which could happen because the Western girls beat Rocky already this year. They've also lost to Rocky big. And I think that game's in Dillon. I'll double check. But huge, huge stuff. And then on the men's side, so you have Providence hosting Carroll, Rocky taking on Western, and then Northern is at Tech, men and women. The Carroll men win, they're the 1 seed. If they tie with Tech, if Tech wins, and they should, then Carroll's the 1 seed by virtue of winning 2 out of 3 against Tech earlier this year. It's just nuts in the Frontier. And it's absolutely awesome that it's coming down to literally the final game on who's going to be the 1, the 2, or the 3. So, excellent, excellent stuff. Watching, what are we watching? Watching some golf on ESPN Plus over here. Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka, Patrick Cantlay, the featured group, so I've been watching that, which is good stuff. You've got Crosstown tomorrow, boys, here in Helena, and then girls on Saturday. That'll be fun. Capital girls coming off, well, they're riding high. I think they've won 6 of 7, and a big win over the Hellgate girls on Tuesday. So, excellent stuff there. Let's see. I think that's about it that we wanted to hit on. You've got Big Sky tonight. We'll talk to Lance Hartzler about that coming up a little bit later on. Let's take a quick break. When we return, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Zac Allen. I see him from Phoenix. He will join us, well, the Phoenix area. He will join us, maybe have some comedy. He's a funny dude. We haven't talked to him in a while. We miss him. So we'll get him on next. Lance Hartzler is going to talk Grizzly hoops and more coming up, also on this day in history, the walk-off, and we'll wrap up the week, too. So no show tomorrow. I've got simulator golf. I've got Golf League tomorrow. I've got to be in it, so got to get into the money. Opening segment of the Jason Walker Show, as always, brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, family-owned and operated, veteran-owned, along with woman-owned, 3 divisions, milled, handcrafted, and timber frame. Check them out at yourcustomlog.com. Coming right back, Zac Allen, the comedian from Montana, will join us. Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana state law says it's your vehicle, it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Brooks Koepka 1 under. I think they're in Riviera down in California. What a great course. I love watching golf. I love playing golf. Speaking of golf, Montana State's Cameron Basie named the Big Sky Co-Women's Golf of the Week. Her mom's the golf coach. She's pretty good. Brother's pretty good basketball player, too. So, Jackson. All right. Let's get to the man. Oh, we'll talk to Lance Hartzler coming up. This segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. There he is. It's been a while since we've talked, like a year. But Zac Allen, comedian extraordinaire, joining us from the Phoenix, Arizona area. How are you, my friend?
It's been good. It's been too long.
I know. You've been busy, so it's hard to chat when you're always, performing, right?
Yeah, no, it's been good, but no, thank you again for having me. It's been good. It's been a good run.
Whose dog is that barking?
It's my sister. She's staying with me.
Oh, okay. So you're on your own now. You're not with mom's?
No. Yeah, I got my own place now. So this is the disappointing thing with the MLB lockout. I'm a huge Cubs fan. I got their hat around here somewhere.
Well, I like the hat display. That's cool.
I love hats. I bought a place nearby, like the Cubs spring training facility, like walking distance. And then as soon as the MLB lockout hit, it's like, so I moved here for nothing. Like, it's terrible.
So you've been down there, 3 years?
It'll be 3 years in May, yeah.
Okay. And you bought a house, so obviously you're killing it.
There's the day job in there as well. It's not just comedy.
It's not just the comedy. I gotcha.
Not just the comedy, no.
That's good. Zac Allen joining us here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline via the Airlink. All right. So speaking of baseball, when does this thing end? When do we get to see baseball that's not college or the minors?
I'm hoping as soon as possible. It's like pitchers, catchers, they were supposed to report 2 days ago.
I know. So,
especially when you come down to it, like, we had a pandemic 2 years ago, so we missed out on a lot of baseball. I'm not a baseball fan, but I'm a big Cubs fan.
Right.
I watch them until they start losing, which last year, fortunately, happened during June, July. So I was like, all right, I'm good. I can stop. Watching baseball a little bit. But yeah, I'm hoping it happens here soon.
Well, I feel your pain because I'm a Mets fan, so it's usually about June, middle of July when they fade, and then you're like, okay, I'll just focus on the golf game now.
Yeah, it's a good. I will say this though, I do like being on the golf course listening to baseball.
Ooh,
like turning on the game. Playing around, give me two things really to just zone out. I've gotten really big into that this past summer.
How is the golf game? Because you're down there. I mean, you can golf year round.
I mean, I play a lot, but I don't play well a lot. I was on cloud 9 last year. Like I had the year before, I had one round where I shot an 89. This past summer, I had 2 rounds. I got in the 89s. So excited. Next week, followed it up with like a 110. It was absolutely terrible. So that's 90s. I'm starting to play a little bit more in the 90s, but
that's good.
It's just, I love doing it. That's a large reason why I love living down here.
Absolutely. Comedian Zac Allen joining us. Have you been back to Montana since you left?
Yeah. So really nice. Like, I mean, like a lot of the comedy scene up there, it's a tight-knit group. So whenever I fly back to Billings for like Christmas, anything, Lucas Seeley's always really good about getting me shows. I got to do a New Year's party a couple of years ago. Going back to Missoula, that's always really nice. Sarah as well. She's put me on a couple shows since I flew back. I flew back for Cat Griz this year.
Oh, nice.
And, went to the game, partied it up at the game that night, had to, not had to, but ended up closing out a benefit show up there. And that was really cool, and then even Bozeman, Garrison Choice, like he puts me on like whenever I fly back there. I don't fly back there very often because if I'm going back to Montana, it's Billings or Missoula, baby.
Right.
Avoiding Bozeman at all costs.
All right, so I have to ask you this because you are a Griz fan.
Yeah,
Did you root for the Bobcats in the playoff run and the national championship game?
I gotta be honest, no.
Okay, good. No, that makes me happy because you can't root for your rival.
I felt like such a bad person, because I listen, I have a lot of respect for that team. I like a lot of those players individually. I think Troy Anderson is going to have a tremendous NFL career.
Mm-hmm.
Even just everything that they accomplished, that's huge for the Big Sky Conference. That's huge for the rivalry in general. But end of the day, still really just hate the Cats.
And that's exactly the answer I'm looking for because you just can't root for your rival in any sport. I mean, you're not going to root for Billings Central.
I will root for Billings Central now.
Oh my gosh. Why?
So Pat Hansen's
his
daughter.
Yep.
She ended up transferring there. She's signed with Butler. She's incredible.
She's fantastic. It's a great family.
That's a ball player. Yeah. No, they really are. And then my buddy's he's coaching. He was coaching football and basketball for the Rams. So it was weird. Like in the playoffs or like during the season, like I found myself like I was checking the Central box scores more than I was like checking the Laurel box scores, just because like I have more connections now. Like it's crazy as you get older, you follow your connections more than you really do like the team.
Hey, Laurel had a good football season though.
They did, yeah. Did they won state?
I don't even remember. I called the 6-man championship, so with 6-man football is a little different. It's fun. Comedian Zac Allen joining us here, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. Super Bowl. Give me your thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show. Let's start there.
I loved the heck out of it. Growing up, I like huge Rat fan, believe it or not. But a lot of these hats, they were worn backwards when they were on my head. But it was really cool just to see like a lot of these people who I grew up with and like seeing them at the halftime show, because it was always like growing up, it was like always like the people my parents watched when they were growing up at the halftime show. So it's finally like at the point where I'm old enough where my youth is being represented at the halftime show. seeing Eminem out there, that was crazy. You know, growing up, I was a huge Eminem fan.
Sure.
And, so, you know, seeing him actually perform there, that's something I never thought I'd see that. And, you know, I loved it.
You and I talked, I think the last time was the start of the pandemic or in the middle of it, back in 2020. When did you start making jokes about it, or have you yet?
I don't like talking about it just because, like, I mean, especially when I'm the opening act most of the times, you know, I don't want to take away from, like, whatever, you know, anyone else is doing. I don't know if they're going to talk about it. And most people do. So it's something, you know, I prefer just to kind of go at my own speed. I didn't have like a lot of interesting things that came out of the pandemic, you know, because we didn't really have much of a pandemic in Arizona. We're kind of like Montana.
Yeah.
You know, the only difference is like we just wore our masks a little bit longer. But we were, you know, we weren't like California. Like we didn't have a mask mandate until like June. You know, I didn't really see a lot of them out and about. And, you know, even when we had like a lot of masks going around outside of like the airport, you could almost always find someone who wasn't wearing one.
Right. Did you have to wear it on stage down there?
No. This is kind of interesting though. I do improv as well. Mm-hmm. So we had about, I'd say about 6 months where we had to do improv through masks. So we were doing these scenes, you know, we were performing and practicing, but we had masks on the entire time. And it's a little interesting, but like it teaches you at least like you gotta really like work the eyes. You know, you can't just get away with like, you know, just moving your mouth. You have to be a little bit more animated. And, you know, I didn't mind it, you know, just because I missed improv a lot. So being able to come back to that was really cool.
You're good with your eyes anyway, right? With the ladies?
Oh, yeah. Deep blue ones. Deep blue eyes. My eyes could eat Samuel L. Jackson. Deep blue sea.
Wow. Jeez. All right. So give us, I mean, what have you been doing besides your day job? But how many performances do you do a week?
Pretty consistently. You know, I haven't been doing as many open mics as I used to. You know, there would be a time like where I was doing, you know, 10, 14 open mics a week.
Wow.
Between shows. Now I've cut it back a little bit, but I mean, I get up on stage, you know, close to at least like 7 days a week. Or 7 times a week. You know, it's between stand-up and improv. You know, I do it pretty consistently. There's very rarely a weekend where I don't do a show. So that's, I mean, it keeps me busy, and I love it. You know, I've had weekends where I have off, and it's just like I just like sit in my apartment. I don't really do a whole lot. Like I wish I was out. I should have been out tonight.
Right. Are you finding yourself, instead of the open mics, are you getting actual gigs now? The last couple years.
Yeah. So you know, I've gotten the opportunity. Like I've opened up for. I got to open up for Bobcat Goldthwait.
I saw that. Yes.
And like that, just like the nicest guy, like really like a cool, down to earth person, and you know, funny as all get out. So I mean, being able to like open up for him, that was really cool. You know, he's directed so much. He was telling me like all like old stories. I didn't know about the movie. Have you ever seen Windy City Heat?
No.
It's the funniest movie of all time. He told me about it in the green room. I watched it that night. Finished it. My sister, she was asleep. She woke up, and I was like, "Hey, Sarah, like we got to watch this movie." So I watched it back to back with her, and it's so funny.
Windy City Heat.
Windy City Heat. Yeah.
Okay. How old is it?
I want to say early 2000s.
Okay. I didn't even know until I saw your pictures on Instagram. I didn't know he was still alive. I'm not gonna lie.
He's joked about that before. Like he's had, you know, people saying like it's a miracle, but yeah.
Because I think the last time I saw him was on CSI, like way back in the day, in some comedian episode of CSI. He was the murderer. He killed he killed like the lead guy, lead comedian. Zac Allen joining us here, Jason Walker Show. So what kind of humor are you talking nowadays?
I'm still fairly self-deprecating. I mean, I don't like making fun of a lot of other people just because I'm not as good at it. I'm a lot more like self-deprecating. I'm a small town guy,
right,
through and through. So I mean, it's not really I'm not gonna have epic roasts coming anyone's way. But I do talk about Montana, which is kind of fun. Every show I open up, I'm like, where are my Montanans at? And sometimes I'll get nothing, but lately, I've had, I met a couple people from Billings, Missoula, Great Falls, had someone the other day from Stevensville. And,
wow.
Even what's funny about that is if no one says anything from Montana, I have people from North Dakota who are we're from North Dakota, or people from Wyoming. I had someone from Gillette the other day. I was like, oh, Trey Larson? And it was just
So if somebody's from North Dakota, then you can pull out all the North Dakota stuff.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's I know a lot about mainly Western North Dakota. I spent a lot of time in Medora.
Okay. How far from Watford City is that?
Watford City, that's central, right?
No, that's right on the border almost.
Oh, that's north, right?
I don't know. It's you go to Sydney and then there's Watford City.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's where the family's from, or dad.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's an hour.
Okay.
You've never been to Medora?
I don't think so.
Oh, you got to go. They have a Teddy Roosevelt musical.
Wait, a musical?
Yeah, it's a Teddy Roosevelt musical.
Oh, that's funny. That is hilarious. All right, so since you don't make fun of other people, so presidential stuff, or do you make fun of Biden?
Not really. I don't like getting into politics.
Okay.
I'm too dumb for that.
The only time I do it on the show is if I stumble or mumble over a sentence and I'm like, hey, Joe Biden showed up. Because if I can't formulate my thoughts. Zac Allen joining us here, Jason Walker Show. What's the reaction been like? What did Bobcat say? Because I'm sure he watched your act. So what did he say?
He was just very complimentary. Giving me advice. We were talking a lot of comedy and how to form an hour because, I have a lot of material, but I don't have a lot of really solid material with me. Things that have been polished and really gone over in a club environment. So, we just talked about how to build that hour and, build up comedy. And, it just, one of the biggest things that he says, it just kind of comes from time and, getting up there. So that was really cool to hear, just coming from him.
If you get a hold of Nikki Glazer, I would love her autograph. I would really like to meet her. So if she's coming to any of the clubs, you got to let me know so I can far enough in advance I can come down. She's my favorite comedian right now.
Yeah.
Aside from you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's the nice thing with Phoenix is we have 5 or 6 clubs in the entire city, which is, kind of rare for a city of Phoenix's size. It's 5th largest in the U.S. for the city, but it's only 14th or 13th for Metro. So we have a lot of clubs, and then we have a lot of improv clubs in smaller rooms. I do. I got the hat right here for Improv Mania. Bow.
Nice.
But they're always really good. Dave Speck, he's always really good about putting me on stage after I do improv, and then I don't have the hat for it. We got JP's, which is we have some smaller rooms which are nice because they give you the opportunity to work on longer sets, and really develop that material before you go in, to an environment like Tempe Improv. So it's a good area to be for comedy right now.
Sure. Well, yeah, it's a good area to be in general. It's warm.
Yeah, it's a little chilly today. It's in the 70s.
Oh my! I saw you with the long sleeve shirt on. Come on, it's
Hey, I got shorts on, though. I got shorts
Of course you do. Zac Allen joining us here, Jason Walker Show. What is the biggest difference from going, say, a 30-minute set to an hour set?
So I don't know, actually. Longest set I've ever done is about 25 minutes, and I've only done about 5 or 6 of those in my lifetime. So, what I would say, even going from 10 to like 25 minutes is, for me, it's not as polished. Obviously for someone else who's doing those sets a little bit more consistently, like the features, if you come down here, you see a feature at a club, they're likely going to be a little bit more, polished in their 25 minutes. I work in a little bit more crowd work just to fill time. So that is something I like doing those longer sets, is it gives me an opportunity to do a lot more crowd work. Whereas like when I'm doing a 10-minute set, I don't want to do a lot of crowd work. Like I'd rather just work on my material just because it's a shorter amount of time. I don't want to really dive into that. I will if need be, but you have a lot more freedom. That's kind of what I'd say with it.
And like I saw Larry the Cable Guy, and he was
that's such a Montana thing to say,
right? Well, he came to Helena, so I actually got him on the show. It's like, besides you, he's like the most famous comedian I've had, and Bill Engvall too. But with Bill Engvall, we talked about prostate cancer. So, fingers in the butt, basically, is what we talked about. But Larry performed.
We can talk about that if you like. Not for prostate exams, but we can talk about it.
Well, no, I don't know. It's kind of a family show at times. But he was saying, like, his show, he did over an hour, almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I know he's got years and years of experience, but I can't imagine, like, you go from 10 minutes to 25, but yet go to an hour and a half then. That would be nuts.
So a lot of it, though, like I said, like I have like the main set I work. Like if I'm getting paid to do a show, like I'll do like my polished set. If people are paying to be there, I'll do a polished set. But when I'm doing either like bar gigs or like some a little bit smaller open mics, you're constantly working on that newer material. So it's you'll see like a lot of times like one of the big things is like when they drop the check. So if you ever go to a comedy club, a lot of times they'll drop the check in the middle of the show. They'll get either like a light or like some notification that checks are coming out because people aren't going to be paying attention. So they'll like kind of work through different bits. That's a lot of times like when I do a weekend, I'll see when they drop the check, I'll see like a different bit being incorporated like each time. So there, and especially when you're doing an hour, you have a lot of time to workshop like newer material and like really work through it. So when you do those, hour and a half sets, like it's at least there. You know what I mean?
Sure. Do you write your stuff down? Like what joke is next?
Sometimes if, I'll play around like with the order every once in a while, but again, like I try to open and close with the same thing most of the time.
Sure.
And just really figure out what flows. But then once I do figure out like what flows best, I kind of stick to it. Like right now, I've kind of been in the same flow for a while. I may switch it up a little bit down the line, but right now I kind of know what works. But that can always change. I do like, I start off with the Montana stuff. Off the bat, because that's a good way to like incorporate crowd work off the bat, get people a little bit involved. I'm not a high energy guy, so
that's the most high energy I think I've ever seen out of you.
I know I'm exhausted.
But when you're like working it, how much, when you say crowd work, like how much, what are you feeding? Give me some ideas here. What are we doing?
So like I'll typically, I try to focus on like where people are from. So like I said, like I'll ask like where my Montanans are at.
Right.
And normally that gets people going, at least like talking a little bit, like, or at least like, listening and, trying to be involved. And then, I'll ask, I'll either ask questions or like if there's something I see or, with the improv show, it's kind of nice because I'll perform after doing improv. A lot of times I'll try and like make a callback to something that we saw during the show, or, pick up on, certain characters that I played throughout the night. So it's pretty, it's not my forte by any means, but, it's something I've felt like a lot more comfortable doing, even from 1 year ago.
It's amazing the success you're having. And we kind of knew, I feel like we're responsible because we had you on a couple of times at the radio station, and that just popped you. You moved to Phoenix all of a sudden, because we're huge in Phoenix. We're actually really huge in Ireland. So if you ever get booked in Ireland, there you go.
You're doubling my success.
Wow. Can I use that?
Yeah.
Nice. I came up with some good ones. I can't repeat, but I was at a ski joring event in Utah a couple weeks ago, and I think I'm funny. The wife never laughs at me, though. Never. And, people will laugh with me, but she won't. I'll tell some at the club, and she'll, she just you're the stupidest dude in the world. Why? Why is that?
I wouldn't know. I'm very single, so I mean,
yeah, but aren't most comedians? You're supposed to be, right?
Yeah. Actually, I mean, a lot of it's surprising. A lot of them do have relationships, but it definitely, it's always. I'd say it's about 50-50 anytime. When you look like me, it's about 90% every time.
that you are successful because you have because you've got the eyes, you've got the hair, you've got it going on.
I've got the Adam's apple. That's what women.
Well, I actually saw somebody say something about that. Adam got the Adam's apple got stuck because Eve was yelling at him or something, so he didn't want to yell back, and that's why guys have the Adam's apple now, so we don't get in trouble from the women, something like that.
So I'm just never getting in trouble. That's what it counts.
See, there you go.
I'm a very large Adam's apple.
All right. How many times have you used that in comparison on stage to another part of your body?
That's actually typically what I close to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I mean, it was different when I had the beard because it would come down and it would kind of cover it. That's an interesting thing. I mean, something as small. I used to open up with looking like Jesus, and when I shaved the beard, that was a huge thing that I was actually nervous about. I'm I can't do that joke really anymore.
Right.
But the irony is I've noticed when I point out things with my Adam's apple or just different things, it feels it's hit a little bit better. So it's just interesting, something as minor as that changes how people view you.
Sure.
Same joke, same delivery, but just different face. It's
really funny to watch you perform and self-deprecate, because I'm self-deprecating too. People say, I'm short. I'm not. Well, you're what, 6'5", 6'6"?
6'4", yeah.
Yeah, 6'4". I'm 5'5". But people are like, man, you're short. I'm I'm big in other places though. I have a big heart. See, so
yeah.
I don't think my Adam's apple is nearly as big as yours. I guess taller guys have bigger Adam's apples.
I think just the scrawnier guys. The one thing I do joke about that a lot. I'm so. My dad's naturally such a skinny guy. I've always had problems putting on weight, and it's just I like deprecating myself with that. And I will say I didn't really anticipate this, but when I bring up things that are self-deprecating, it is actually surprisingly empowering.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Hearing a room full of people laughing at it, it makes me more embracing of it. When I was a kid, I used to be very self-conscious of being scrawny, being tall, and being able to make fun of that is actually it makes me feel a lot better. I've going through that set, I feel way more confident about the things that typically would not have made me confident years ago. So I think that's why I enjoy the self-deprecation so much, just because afterwards, hearing a room full of people laugh at just me, That's, it makes me a lot happier.
Well, and I've been, and I'm not nearly as funny as you, but, people have been making fun of me for my height. And I'm like, dude, I've known since I was in 5th grade I was going to be short. So your jokes go over my head. See, that's good, right?
That's good.
But yeah, I mean, you just have to make fun of yourself because life's too short and it's too hard. So just have fun with life.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. And there was a girl, this old couple. I remember I was doing TV in Grand Junction, Colorado, back in 04, 05. And this old couple walks up to me on the sidewalk downtown. They're like, "Oh, you look taller on TV." And not even thinking, I said, "Well, that's why porn stars look so big. TV adds inches." And she looked like death warmed over, and he's laughing his ass off. But yeah, self-deprecation. It's always fun.
Yeah, I love
it. Zac Allen joining us. I got to run here soon, but what's next for you? When are you going to be in Montana next?
So I'm not sure actually. I'm planning on coming back up for Cat Griz next year. But I'm not sure. I may try and make a trip up this summer. I do a golf trip every year with a couple buddies from two guys from Laurel, and then two of them, Alec Wagner, and then Frankie. I can't pronounce his last name. It's a Greek name, but they played football up at Northern, and so we get together every summer. We go on a golf trip, and we're planning that next year. So that's going to probably be our big trip is kind of what I'm getting at. But
okay.
Hoping to get back up to Montana here soon.
Well, if you get up and you have, some time and want to come over to Helena, or Missoula, we can go to the country club over there too. We have Reciprocity. Couple of the clubs over there, Ranch Club.
I got to play, I played Canyon. Oh, you know what? Actually, I may be up in August. My buddy, he puts on this golf tournament called the Mida Cup. And so last summer it was like all our friends from college, probably I'd say about 28 of us, no, maybe even more than that, about 30, 40, just friends from college. We got together, we played a golf scramble. It was US versus the world. And just like all this stuff, like he puts on a hell of a tournament.
And that's a Canyon Creek?
Canyon
River. Yeah, Canyon River. Outside, yeah. That's a great course.
It's the screensaver on my phone.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, that's a fantastic course.
It's so nice.
It's
Montana in general. They have some of my favorite courses.
Yep.
Desert's interesting, but I mean, like I love mountains. I miss trees so much.
Well, I don't miss them when I golf.
That's 90% air.
That's my game. So, man. Hey, don't be a stranger. Don't make it a year next time, will you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I will say, if anyone's down here listening, typically every weekend, most weekends at least, I'm performing out at Improv Mania Comedy Club down in Chandler in Arizona. I'll be at Stir Crazy in Glendale the week of the PBR. PBR comes down here the week of the 11th and 12th. So I'll be hosting all weekend. Stir Crazy, it's just across the street from, I can't remember where the Coyotes play, but just across the street there. So
was it Gila Arena or Gila Center or something like that?
Yeah,
okay.
Gila River.
Have you met your buddy Flint yet?
I haven't met him.
You and Flint still haven't hooked up?
No, so actually I was hoping to reach out and meet him that weekend because I'll be so close all weekend. But
you were supposed to go. You were going to go see him in Glendale, right? And then COVID hit.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was right before the pandemic. So hoping to at least meet him for the first time out there.
Well, I'll get a hold of him. He's got one of his daughters down there in Wickenburg roping and practicing all winter. So.
They got a ton, they got a rodeo every weekend out there.
Yeah, ropings and riding. Yeah, they got all sorts of stuff. See, what I did, there was a callback from 2 years ago to just now. It's not funny, but it was a callback. So I understand comedy.
What was the callback?
The Flint and meeting up 2 years ago. Yeah, see, it's not. I told you it wasn't funny because you didn't even get it. And if I have to explain it, it's not funny, right? That's what my wife always says.
No, that's just on me. That's just me.
All right, hey, appreciate it, man. Seriously, stay in touch. And what size shirt are you?
I should be a large, but I wear a lot of extra larges. I'm still bulky in my head.
Okay. I'm bulky too. It's just in the stomach. But if I send you a Jason Walker Show shirt, you got to wear it on stage sometime.
Oh yeah.
Can you do that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll text me your address, and I'll send you a shirt or two. And you want T-shirt or polo?
Oh, polo would be nice.
Okay. Because you try to dress up on stage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just don't wear as many T-shirts. I like wearing collars.
Yeah. Okay. But no, I'll send a polo. I don't know if I have an extra. I'll send something.
If you got a large, I'll take a large.
Ooh, that's going to be tough. I do have a large, but I wear a large and it's short. Like it doesn't fit me great, and it's a large. So you might want an XL. Okay. So I'll send what I got, and then you're just going to get whatever color I send. So.
I appreciate it. I love the mystery box.
But I want a picture of it, like with you on stage.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely send it.
And then I can hang it up in the man cave here.
I love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Hey, keep working strong. Keep doing well, man. It's fun to see you succeed after getting to know you a few years ago. And you still at the notorious ZAC on the Twitter?
I'm Zac from Montana now.
Oh, Zac from Montana. Oh, Instagram and Twitter, right?
Yep.
Okay. You're still notorious, though, to me. Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for reaching out. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. Say hi to the family. Not that they know me, but and then I'll get that shirt in the mail soon. So send me your address.
They're big fans of yours, so they'll appreciate hearing that. So I, as always, really appreciate it, Jason. And say hi to the family as well.
I will.
I really appreciate you.
Awesome, man. I'll talk to you down the road. Send me that address.
All right, sounds good.
All right, that is Zac Allen, comedian and entertainer, joining us here, Jason Walker Show. He's funny, man. We've gone long, but it's okay because he's the best. Quick break. We're coming right back. We'll talk with Lance Hartzler about Grizzly Hoops. Jason Walker Show. Hang on.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show on a Thursday, final show of the week. We got golf tomorrow, so man, it's been a fun week. Thanks to Zac Allen for joining us. He's great. If you ever get down to Phoenix, make sure you go to Zac from Montana and check out his schedule, because he is fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, the Griz men and women are playing really, really well. And I know you're going to leave us on TreasureStateRadio.com, but the rest of you can tune in on JasonWalkerShow.com after that. But if you're still with us, we're going to talk to Lance Hartzler from 406mtsports.com as he joins us to talk about the Griz here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, man, appreciate you joining us once again, but let's start with Big Sky Hoops, and let's just hop right into it, because some craziness last week. We saw the Griz men lose at home for the first time all season, falling in overtime to Northern Arizona. You were at that game. What was your thoughts, and how'd that happen?
It just looked like NAU came to play, man. I feel like my thought process coming out of that game was, Montana looks like they're going to struggle at times against big physical teams. NAU, they're a big physical team. They roll out in their starting lineups 3 guys 6'8" and taller. They play almost a little dirty at times, kind of punch you in the mouth. Their 6'7" center, Carson Tout, was kind of a lug and really just got into guys. He got Mac Anderson into foul trouble. He also came up with an awkward play that led to Mac Anderson getting hurt. He's day-to-day as of now. Derek Carter-Hollinger got into foul trouble. Josh Bannon struggled at times with the physicality. It was just one of those games where a team punches you early and they really get into you, and it's a close loss, a hard-fought game. Neither team really had control the entire time. But it just reminded me that, yeah, it looks like Montana matches up better against teams that are long-rangey athletes, because we saw them take it to Southern Utah, long-rangey athletic. Portland State, long-rangey athletic, no real true bigs. But then teams like Montana State, a bunch of thick guys. NAU, same thing. Idaho State has got some really thick bigs. They can do something to Montana that other teams haven't been able to.
Are you surprised by that? Because, I mean, you have Bannon down, who's a big boy. And normally the Griz are physical as themselves, but are you surprised that they're not this year?
I would consider them still physical. They get called for among some of the highest foul rates in the Big Sky, and honestly, I think in the NCAA they're pretty high up there. I think it's more so they just don't have a lot of depth. Josh Bannon is big, but he's also a sophomore. He's still young. He's still a young kid out there, basically. Mac Anderson, he's tall and athletic, but he's not the biggest. Scott Blankeny, he's big, but he's been battling injuries. Derek Carter-Hollinger is 6'5", 200. He's tiny comparatively, but he's playing the 4 and the 5 spot. And that's their big rotation. Kyle Owens plays a bit, but he's not considered a big dude. He's 6'9", 220 at most. So they got guys that battle. Their system is predicated on it. But there are certain players that, if Montana gets into that foul trouble, some things are going to struggle. You're going to see the holes. That defense is great. It's phenomenal. Probably one of, if not the best in the league. But you can see the cracks if that foul trouble starts to really compound itself.
They did bounce back with the win over Portland State on Saturday. And I think you said in your article, maybe one of its best offensive performances of the year.
Oh, absolutely. They went absolutely flamethrower on Portland State. I mean, Robbie Beasley went for 24 points, hit 6 of 8 from three-point range. He only took 2 shots inside the three-point line outside of 6 free throws, 5 boards, 5 assists. I mean, Josh Bannon went for a quiet 22 points on 9 of 13 shooting. Linnell Martin hit 4 of 6 from deep. As a team, they hit 11 of 16 from three-point range. They shot 52% from the field, 87 from free throw line. They just didn't miss.
Well, and I mean, that's going to win you a lot of games when you play like that. This has been an up and down team, though, the last couple of weeks, honestly. Why, in your opinion?
I think it's a matter of the Big Sky, while it has its down teams, you got to remember even the down teams can sneak some wins. And Idaho State is going to beat you. They might do it. And NAU, although down, is going to beat you. And when you're a young team like Montana, I forget it myself. They are led by a bunch of sophomores.
Right.
Their starting lineup is 3 sophomores, Whitney, Beasley, and Josh Bannon. And those are arguably their 3 best players on offense. And Whitney, their best player on defense. They're a bunch of sophomores. They're still learning how to not overlook those bottom-tier teams. They're still learning how to close out those games or how to say, okay, we're at the 5-minute mark. It's 60-60 against the team we should beat. We just got to close this game out. At home, we're 12-0 at home. We can't lose this. They're still learning to do that. They're still young. And I forget it. I think sometimes fans might forget that because they've been playing so many games. Like, they've been starting basically since last year, the beginning of last year. Most of these dudes have been day one starters, and they're second-year guys. They're still young.
Yeah, you do forget that, which, I mean, you have a great article talking about the Griz and heading to Idaho this weekend up at 406mtsports.com. Lance Hartzler joining us here, Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. And it kind of breaks down the Big Sky men's race, which is, well, let's just say crazy with 2 weeks to go. I mean, you know, it's really anybody's game in that top 4, top 5, you know, mix right now. Obviously the Cats with the inside track, Southern Utah, that's going to be a big game March 1st when those two hook up. But there's big games for both the Cats and the Griz this week with Idaho and Eastern Washington games.
Oh, absolutely. I would say the Big Sky right now is a little convoluted. It is I did not expect Montana State to be doing what they're doing. They are just rolling, but they've also escaped. They very easily should have lost to Portland State and NAU. I mean, it's 3 points to PSU, 2 to NAU, and it came down to what was really a ref decision to not call a charge when Xavier Bishop went for that layup. You could have called a charge there. Mm-hmm. We've seen Big Sky refs call charges in those situations. So the Cats are rolling. They've gotten some good breaks. But, man, they got Eastern Washington tonight. They got Southern Utah on Saturday, and then Montana on Sunday, February 27th, and then Southern Utah again on Tuesday, March 1st. They got a murderer's row coming up.
With you, well, yeah, they do. The Griz, it's not so easy either, though. I mean, yeah, they do get to host it at Dahlberg with that Cat Griz game next week, but you know, at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's anybody's race, and it's just absolutely crazy to see. What do the Griz do tonight?
I think they handle Idaho. I don't think they're going to make the same mistake they made going into the Idaho State game. I think with that one, it's kind of a tough situation to repeat, right? They were coming off such an emotional, tough loss to Weber State to just head up to Pocatello basically the day after. This time, they've had a week off. They haven't played since Saturday. This is their only game this week. I don't expect a Travis DeCure coach team to come out the way they did, like they did against Idaho State. I think they're going to look at Idaho, look at the game plan, know that they need to shut down Mikey Dixon like they did in Dahlberg, where they held him to 0 points on 0 for the field, and I think he fouled out. And they understand that you have to stop Trevante Anderson, their other guard, who's become really a really strong secondary scorer, especially when Dixon struggles. So they know what they need to do to beat Idaho, and I think the game plan is not much different than when they played them in Dahlberg.
Well, and, you know, they'll look at – Travis DeCure's going to have his team go, hey, they just beat Weber. as well last week. So, I mean, this is a team that can win some games, like an Idaho State, which upset the Griz. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into tonight. Talking to Lance Hartzler, 406mtsports.com. Check him out at themissoulian.com as well. Switch over to Lady Griz. They've lost a couple straight. They didn't have Sammy Fatkin in the lineup. A, when does she come back? And B, how much has that changed the lineup?
Well, let's see. I'm trying to see when does Fatkin come out. From what I understand, she's still day-to-day. Now, yes, Bill Spelt, our sports editor here at the Missoulian, reported that she is still day-to-day from that ankle sprain that she sustained against Idaho State on February 5th. So she's TBD. Hopefully she can get back in the lineup, because when they have her, they are a better team. 10 days ago, they posted arguably one of their biggest wins of the year. And since then, they're on a 2-game snide because of the injury bug, because of the like we've talked about in the recent weeks. The compounding schedule has just gotten to them. They haven't been able to get healthy or have these games with a healthy lineup because they've had all these rescheduled games kind of lumped together, right?
Oh, no, absolutely. And it just seems like it's kind of taken its toll on I don't want to say a young team like the men, but a first-year coach, a new team, learning still under Brian Holsinger. Does that play into it, do you think?
I think it does, and I think also it's good to remember that type of change in a schedule is going to affect teams differently, especially when you look at the context of some of the teams they play in those breaks are on like 1-week breaks, whereas fairly has played 3 or 4 games in a span of a week. It's just an imbalanced schedule that we're really starting to see actually materialize. In a vacuum, before we actually had an idea of what it would look like, we weren't sure. Now we've actually seen it in practice. It looks like there's been causing problems. It's been leading to the imbalanced schedule and imbalanced competitions where we don't really know who's good and who's not, or who is that much better than who, because a team off a 1-week break has a legit chance versus a team who's played their 3rd game in 5 days.
Sure. No, I mean, it makes total sense. What happened to Lady Griz, the controversy last week at NAU, a week ago today? What happened?
So, for context of the listeners, the Griz it looked like they were going to win on a buzzer beater. They lost 60-59 because the NAU ran a play at the last second where they were able to throw an alley-oop to Kyrika Rashid, who caught it across the court. Phenomenal play, honestly, just a great play by NAU. Phenomenal highlight. But somehow the refs decided it was an and one. Kyrika was kind of falling away from the Griz defender. I don't think on the replay you could really judge that that's a foul. I thought it's a no call and give her the shot. Great, game goes to overtime. But they award her the free throw. She hits it. The Lady Griz lose by 1 in Flagstaff. From my understanding, Kyle Hansen of NTN reported that the conference kind of went no comment, so to say, about that call. They don't really comment about officials, but they review it when they do their officials' reviews. But more or less, really tough way for the Lady Griz to lose that game. I don't think it was a foul. I think that's just a great play, and that game should have gone to OT, in my opinion.
Well, and I agree with you. You don't want to see refs, decide a game. If it goes to OT, fine. Then let them battle it out for another 5 minutes, and then
absolutely
that winner, whoever wins those 5 minutes or however long extra it takes, then that's fine. But yeah, I saw it. I don't think it was a foul either. It was just home cooking, maybe. I mean, you're going to get calls like that at home once in a while, right?
Yeah, that's my take. I guess that's what happened. Like sometimes you get lucky, and the ref they blew their whistle, and you're going to blow your whistle there. You're going to have to call something. You can't just go, oops, I didn't mean to blow my whistle. You just got to stand by it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's an anticipation call, maybe is what it was, what you can relate it to. All right, what do Lady Griz got this week, and how do they snap this 2-game skid?
Well, they got Idaho tonight, and, Idaho is not the same Idaho we've seen in the Big Sky Conference lately, right? They've been struggling. I think I got their record right in front of me. They are 6-15 and 5-7 in the conference. That's not the same Idaho we know.
No.
So at home, this is a nice opportunity for the Lady Griz to bounce back and right the ship a little bit and really get rolling as the season and conference tournament really gets close. Because the recent run kind of put them in a weird spot in the standing. Now they're fighting to get into that bye week.
Right.
Instead of that bye game, instead of having to go to the first round of the tournament. They went from really legitimately potentially a top 3 team to now they're fighting for that 5th spot. They have a chance. They really are on the right track to get into that spot, but they got to start to right the ship a little bit. And I think they should be able to tonight against Idaho.
Well, and they've got Idaho, twice in a span of 5 days or 4 days, because they'll play them again Monday after going out to Portland State on Saturday. Come into that, imbalanced schedule, makeup game type thing as we've talked about. But it's a big stretch. If they can go 3-0, that puts them right back into the mix.
Honestly, even if they can go 2-1 over the stretch, that's ideal.
True.
I think coming out over 500, coming out with a winning record is what you need. 3-0 is perfect. 2-0, 2-1, you take that.
Well, they should beat Portland State. I mean, Portland State's the worst team maybe this year in the entire nation. I actually had a coach, Frontier Conference coach, tell me that they would pay Portland State to go to Portland to beat them.
The old reverse buy game.
Right? Yeah. We'll take a buy game, but we're paying you to come to your home court to win. So,
man. Yeah, Portland State's been bad.
So Lady Griz honestly could go 3-0. They should go 2-1 and definitely get the win tonight. You got high school hoops. You got districts starting up this week. Got divisionals in a couple of weeks in the AA, but it's an exciting time. I know you're from Arizona. How does Arizona high school tournament season rank compared to Montana's, which just started this week?
I can't form an opinion because I haven't covered the districts yet. I'm going to be covering Big Sky at Hellgate tomorrow night for a doubleheader, and then Frank Gola, my coworkers over at districts, while I kind of do a roundup of scores tonight. So I can't form an opinion yet, but I'm liking the vibes of high school hoops here. I'm excited to cover Big Sky Hellgate. I was at Hellgate Sentinel last week watching Missoula Hellgate sweep the Spartans and take the city title. And, of course, Hellgate, as we talked about before we got on here, Hellgate with a nice win over Capital, but then the Capital girls turn around and knock off previously undefeated Hellgate.
Yeah, and it seems to me like if you can get physical with the big girl underneath with Hellgate, you've got a chance. It goes back to what you were talking about with the Griz. It kind of takes her out of her game, and that's what the Capital girls did.
What girls you're talking about? She's like 6'5", 6'6",
yeah.
Dominant shot blocker, but she's thin. If you can get physical with her, that can knock her off.
Yep. Hey, I'm looking forward to your great coverage of the weekend, and of course, Lady Griz tonight at Dahlberg Arena. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks as we come down to the wire here with the Big Sky and then high school tournaments getting started. It's one of the best times of year. It's normally the best time of the year for me because spring training was supposed to start.
All right.
We still don't
that's not happening.
We still don't have baseball, so we're relying on basketball right now to keep us happy.
Lots of basketball right now, man. I love this. This is heaven for me.
There you go. Hey, appreciate you joining us, man. It's just great coverage. Check him out, Lance Hartzler, 406mtsports.com. Follow him on Twitter, Missoulian.com as well. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk next week after maybe the Lady Griz go 3-0. How's that?
Sounds good, man. Talk to you, Jason. Appreciate you.
Lance Hartzler joining us, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. Lots of great basketball to come in the next couple weeks, and including the Frontier, where tonight, right now, Providence and Carroll women getting going up there in Great Falls. Rocky and Western. Yeah, that's a big one on the women's side too. So, by the way, just saw today Jefferson beat Big Timber today in boys. First round action at the District 5B down in Belgrade, 50-35. So congratulations there. All right, let's do On This Day in History. It is brought to you by Pinkerton Leather Company. Check them out, pinkertonleather.com. Use the discount code MTSports10 for a 10% discount at checkout on all products. Homemade in America, or handmade in America, American leather, wallets, purses, saddles, belts, everything in between that you can make with leather. Casey Pinkerton will get it done. Combat veteran and runs his company out of Wyoming, but he is a Montanan through and through. Today is National Random Acts of Kindness Day on February 17th. It is also National Cabbage Day. 1818, Baron Karl von Dres de Sauerbrunn patents the Dracaene. It's also known as an early bicycle. 1941, 14th title defense. Joe Louis knocks out Gus D'Aranzio in the second. Joe DiMaggio enlists into the U.S. Army on this date, 1943. 1974, at the Daytona 500, Richard Petty becomes the first driver to go back-to-back at Daytona, his fifth Great American Race. 1998, U.S. women's ice hockey team beats Canada, wins the first Olympic gold medal. They did not, I don't think they won last night, did they? Or this morning? 2002 at the 44th Daytona, Ward Burton wins, and it's the first for Dodge since Richard Petty back in 1974 on this date. 2014, American pair Merrill Davis and Charlie White win the first Olympic gold medal in the U.S. in ice dance at the Sochi Winter Games. And later that summer, or later that winter, Merrill Davis and I hung out at the airport in Las Vegas at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that was pretty cool. Let's see, what else happened on this date? 2020, Denny Hamlin wins the second straight Daytona 500 after a restart in OT, his third win. Happy birthday, Wally Pipp, born on this day in 1893. That Wally Pipp. 1936, Jim Brown was born, the great running back. Rene Russo was born on this date, 1954. She was in Lethal Weapon, Major League. 1962, Lou Diamond Phillips was born. 1963, Larry the Cable Guy. Also on this date in 1963, Michael Jordan was born. Tommy Moe's birthday is today, 1970, the Olympic gold and silver medalist from 1994, born in Anchorage, Alaska. 1801, U.S. House of Representatives breaks Electoral College tie, electing Tom Jefferson as president over Aaron Burr. Rush Limbaugh passed away on this date last year. And on this date, I can't believe it's been 9 years already, but the great singer, Mindy McCready, took her own life. A hard life she lived, but love me some Mindy. She was fantastic. That's me and her back in 1997, Medford, Oregon. Look how young we both were, because we were 22, 21. We were both 21 in this picture. How crazy is that? But we'll always celebrate her any chance we get. Let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. And had fun today. Had fun. Last show of the week. So it's the wife's birthday this weekend, so I'm taking her out of town. We leave tomorrow, so that's why there's no show tomorrow. Plus, I do have some golf in the early day. But we had fun. Guy Almquist, Katie Garson-Forba, Alex Eshelman, Lance Hartzler, Zac Allen joined us this week. Today, good times. And we'll do it again next week. Make sure if you stop into Cafe Zydeco, you get something good and say hi. Miss Lou. They're awesome. Maybe I'll take the little one there tonight. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday. We'll do the Auto Contest Performance of the Week. We'll talk hoops, district champs, and much more. Once again, Mindy McCready, you will be missed. 9 years ago today, passing away, taking her own life. All right, we'll see you back here on Monday. This has been the Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana State Law says it's your vehicle, it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. See you Monday, 4 o'clock. Go to JasonWalkerShow.com.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.